I'll get you. You will lay a desire. Then I'd wear that power. President, via Yatty, this again. I say, oh, me, I'm right. And by doing you, I'm a part of my trade there. Well, on it goes away. Alas, I go that Gianna, we say you. Papa Mora, get me up when anywhere, Momba Sivole. Sivole. L'arrangeur parmi national, très trop fort. We are glad that we want by say so where that you are. I want to say, Bobo. There be you. Do a play you about Babomonia. Papa Yengita, petit, brother Fassoni. Kaidaka. Bena Paya was a Bobo, Mambo Panjago. Apoblo Akaway. One was a young café. We are for them one money upper clay you can. None your see one. What's the cat to your way at being on your one? Emo Nesetoka. With this one, where they have been. Go on, yeah, I can't salute. Wo jata tuyan pe atiyan de won e mo o nese to kan na pwesi so boko ke we de yeble ko ya kanike na kon kete yan be wewe na yan sa se bi ane e ya jo wale ya jo se du woja o yesu gba te wa kan ta yo bo kan dia ayi we na o sai bobo da ji anu ana wi se yi wo ba àwọn tó yóò pẹ́ máa là ní dẹ́bọ̀ àánú ẹ̀ o. Àjẹ́ yẹ sàn àgbẹ̀ náà báyìí ní gbẹ̀rù ẹ̀gẹ́. Ayé ìmọ̀ ọjà ẹ máa gé yìí wọ́n náà wọ́n láwọ̀ ó lọ Jésù mi àbíọ̀nù ẹni dẹ́bọ̀ ẹ̀ o. Ó àó. Sàyí bóbó dàjì àánú àná àwísí ẹ̀yìn wọ̀. Sọ́ọ́lá kẹta gbogbo ẹ̀yàn lè máa yé ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Nẹ̀tọ́ ni ẹ̀rọ yájú. Anyway, Obu just say, oh yeah, I'm a walking lever. Kaidaka, when it was to work, I go for net in the milk of way. I just know. This is what I say. Saibo, yeah, you like do I get more by? Do I name on tell it by Potamu, Tanyada? Planning Papa. Gesia, Baka on lage, the Pussy Bo, the Pussy baby. The Tonya Sito, you can up one, there was a Bob, was a dressy, Mambo, Balibo, the Giano, and I will say you by. I will. Saibo. In back to a black guy, do it so, say. I just want to lay a bad to an apple, you see you okay. Wejo, Ivo, Saibo Boba, Engage the pop and block where John B. Banglo. On the Kriana walk like a bad day, Benoit. Joso was it. So, the one you're naturally stand, Clement Soule. Saibo, the Giano, and I will say you over. I'm done in it. Where are you? Two of away. I know Roswell, Cape Roswell, South Africa, your part, your way. Thank you for your work there and my one. I'm the Pope and Yaguba. Don't feel it, I say, oh, Claudio. Say, back in where we are coming. Say, Bobo, that Yano, and I will say you over. About people, Swallow, Nindes, Swallow. Vamos a get daughter, Siko Bala. Pabo you are say, they post a do look. Say, I say, oh, my you know. Get one day, yeah. Your family, your same Monday now. I reward, I say, oh, my I'm more down. Say about that, Yano, and I will say you. I wish a rule of you, my something on your man. Saibo, 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 that young man now will take you there. Mop man down le mel, read on your man, don't you? When you know I say, it's a mayo. That was the Yasu also wombo. When you Amora Ginola,
ouais, il a fait une chanson.
Good evening, folks. Samson told Labrador Public still traveling, stay on the road. And we will be doing some serious conversation here this evening. And we have a new speaker this time around. We hope that the speaker will put the right hands up and not the left side. But what I want to welcome all of you again tonight. Please do whatever you can to see if you can share this show to as many brothers and sisters as possible. We're having a good time. We said thank God for the mercy. Thank God we're out of town. The family is fine. Everything else, we just have little which I call core here and there. So just bear with me. Let me grab my bottle of water and I will be right back.
Voilà. Et Mon Blé Position, c'est une structure qui est créée pour les jeunes qui sont dans le gaiement, pour les jeunes de l'US et tout. Mon Blé Position est là pour produire les jeunes talentueux, cachés, que les gens ignorent. Donc notre devoir, c'est de produire des talents cachés. Alors, il a fait un son pour Mon Blé Production.
Arrangé Eric Glodé, le don de Dieu pour la musique de l'Ouest.
We're back. Just give up. We're back. I want to thank all of you again. Samson told, I'm under the weather, of course, but we just have to come on because, even if I'm under the weather, I still have to come and show face. So I want to thank you very much for joining us tonight. Please share this video. Share it to as many brothers and sisters as possible. We're still out of town. As you can see here, once I'm done, I just go, boom, lay back and I'm going to bed. I don't have to go anywhere else. But anyway, thank God for everything. Safety, Lord Jesus. As we come before you again tonight, we ask that you continue to bless us. Give us long life. My Lord, thank you for the opportunity. My Lord, the brothers and sisters that are unable to come and be joyful with us here tonight, we ask you to restore whatever is happening in their lives. Restore themselves, restore them, so that they will be able to get back into the area where they used to be. I know, my Lord, you know, that pain in these brothers and sisters are heavy. Please bring in the medicine. You are the painkiller. You are the pain medicine. You are the only one who can relieve of any kinds of headache we have. We say thank you for that. And we ask again, come into the lives of the brothers and sisters to be whole again through your name. My Lord, we ask that the Republic of Liberia be blessed, that the people of the Republic of Liberia be blessed. And we want to thank you for guiding this process. It could have gone south on us. But because of your involvement, we are where we are today. We say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, my Lord. We ask that you bless the President of the Republic of Liberia. Give him long life. Yes, some of the good news we're hearing. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you for the good news we're hearing. I'm not going to announce it yet because it's the day, but thank you for the opportunity, my Lord. Thank you. Thank you very much. My Lord, as we come before you again tonight, give the President long life. Whatever he touches in your name and in the name of the Liberian people, let that be blessed. Whichever door he knocks, the door must be open in the name of the Liberian people and through you, my Lord. Thank you. We ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So I will start right away. That one thing I learned about myself. Yeah, that one thing I learned about myself. That one thing I learned about myself. Sometimes I can think, say, but something, easy. I've been thinking about why the Civil War happened. Yeah, people will say, immediately after the coup, of course, the 13 people that were killed, their relatives, of course, they were going to revenge. We all knew that one. But I didn't think I was going to take that short of a time. I'll read something to you. I've been doing some serious reading. I got plenty document. What they want, I'm going to read to you where it come from. It says here, here's the document. Oh, you can see it, but that document. April 19, 1985. Listen to this, my people. Listen to this. Listen to this. These are things that sometimes people wondering what happened to us Liberians. It said, Dear Samuel K. Doe, National Stellar Bearer, National Democratic Party of Liberia, Executive Mansion, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Dr. Doe, it says, in keeping with our desire to win, listen to this, oh, listen. In keeping with our desire, their desire to win a general election in October 1985, especially since the People's Probate Court of Monrovia has granted the request for the probation and registration of the documents of the Liberian Action Party, which we view as a serious opposition to our party. The party business, the CDC, and all they're not just not business. Oh, they're not just not business. I'm reading it as my opinion. Okay. I have the honor most respectfully to recommend the following to you for your kind intervention and approval. Having investigated, they think that you see what I'm going with it, that what we do, Liberians, it was bad then and still bad. But listen, the circumference of Liberians to kowtow to leaders, it's definitely, it's life threatening. Listen to this. Okay. Having investigated, who gave you the permission to investigate? But I will read that. Having investigated the various complaints sent to us by some of our partisans against some key government officials who are undermining the progress of the party in their area of assignment, we wish to recommend the immediate dismissal of the following individual who, after investigation, we have found them to be anti-National Democratic Party of Liberia. Not anti-Liberia, though, because they men that wrote it in that he taking Democratic Party to be Liberia. Because the Democratic Party the man who's running the country is president. Therefore, his party is Republic of Liberia. My people, and then we're wondering why we had a civil war. Why was the civil war happening? This is back in 1985 before the election. But I got plenty document here. I will be up every night I come out and read a little bit. Plenty. But listen to this. I'm not going to call the people Nina who he wanted to be, but he wanted deputy minister to be dismissed, assistant minister to be dismissed. We also wish to inform you, sir, that after all investigation into the complaint against the minister, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, you blah blah. Okay, I will stop there. But this is signed the interim national chairman, National Democratic Party of, you know what that party is right now? You know what NDPR is right now? Hello, Vera. Good evening, mother. Thank you. You know what Democratic Party, what that DPR party is right now? It's in the tank. Because the Liberians have always worshipped individual. They don't talk about institution. He wasn't building institution. He was building institution. No, he was building individual. So he's telling the president we now investigate people here who are working in the government that they want undermining the party, not undermining the Republic of Liberia. But when I get to it next week, I will read it proper. Now listen to the other one. Listen to the other one. Yes, Liberia, we're not easy. Liberia, we're not easy. We're not easy, oh my people. We're not easy. Okay. It says, listen to this, oh. Dear chairman, I will not call the people near. I will call them when I get back home. Said, dear chairman, your letter dated May 14, 1985, requesting the support. Listen how dangerous these people were playing, but that's exactly what they got. They were playing with fire, they got fire. They were not playing with fire, Chon, they were playing with fire, and they got exactly what they deserve. I would say that. They got exactly what they deserve. Listen to this. Listen to this. Your letter dated back, it was written to the chairman of NDP, or National Democratic Party of Liberia. That what it's a National Democratic Party of Liberia. That's what they say here. Okay, 16th Street, Cinco, Monrovia, Vikings, May 16, 1985. But let me read this. And next week, when I go home and start reading these things, you will see when you finish. Those of you that were born during the war, or those of you who suffered through the war, but you didn't understand why the war was coming to you, and you were moving from place to place. You were not even allowed to go see your friends who you have friends in high school or friends in elementary school. You didn't even know what was happening. I will open your eyes. Samson told, I will open your eyes. I told you 2 weeks ago that the player go on, come back. The document I will show you in the place. You will say, what? What happened? Listen to this one here. Samson told Labra Public. I'm here again to educate you. I'm not here for no kumbaya business. I would say it. Dear Mr. Chairman, your letter dating back May 14, 1985, requesting the support. The support. Who you think the people asking for support? Guess. Who you think gonna say it? Who are they asking for support? You will never guess until I tell you. And when I tell you, put your hand on your head, you say, why? Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. Requesting the support of the armed forces of Liberia to secure victory. Army to secure victory for NDP. And you're saying why the war come? And we sit down here and blame Prince Johnson. What Prince Johnson did, what Prince Johnson did that? Prince Johnson, he killed my own brother, Rabato. He killed my brother. I have no dealing with that kind of person. I don't want to be bothered with him. But when we're ready, let's be truthful. 250,000 people die. These are the reasons. The army is telling the NDP chairman that the army will make sure that the victory will be secure. I got plenty where it come from. Plenty. And the good thing, most of the people who need our equality, most of them are dead anyway. But I feel bad for their children because their children were, what kind of deal their fathers and mothers were doing that brought this disaster war to the country. Listen to this. Armed forces of Liberia to secure victory for the National Democratic Party of Liberia in the forthcoming general election is hereby acknowledged. He said, why you coming to us with the army people? We stay out of the thing. You have to go do your politics. I'm not a politician, I'm an army man. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. Why you sending the kind of letter to me requesting the army support to do what? We are neutral. Anybody win, we're here to support them. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. And the people wondering why there was a civil war. When I finish exposing the civil war business, I think many of us will close our mindset to say, okay, you forget it. Let's move on. Because the civil war, it was the people, my teacher, my elementary teacher, that time I used to be frisky in total. Bad. He said something to us. I say, yeah. Elementary teacher. He said something to us. I say, yeah. He said, why are you being like this? Because at that time they had a South African politician who are then what is Samara? Someone I think forgetting his name, but he got beer. So when he talking, who he beer like this, because he was a radical, and I consider myself the most radical of all time. In total, in total. So when I talk, no beer here, but I hold my chin like this, I squeeze my chin because I'm holding the beer. I'm more radical. So this is what he told me one time. He said something. I said, yeah. He said, you here in a school, you won't go to school. You want for every day. You know what? You know what I think about you? I said no. He said, some of y'all sit down. Trouble laying down. Then he said, trouble. Wake up. The trouble said, my man, leave me alone here. He said, no, I'll bother you. Wake up. You just sitting lying here, people be enjoying themselves. I'm tired of being bored. I want to wake you up trouble. Then you wake the trouble up. When the trouble say boom, you wake up, then you say, my people, you can't, trouble not count. You wake the trouble. Liberians sat there and left few of them. Just few handful. I don't know what they were thinking. They thought by killing other people, brothers and sisters, that people will go set them free and laugh with you. And laugh with you. Are you out of your mind? You sat there and killed somebody, brother. You sat there and killed somebody, father. All because of politics, they don't agree with you. Because they think say you don't deserve to be at certain position. You kill them. And you think they are ready to gonna smile with you? You think they're gonna smile with you? No, I will read more letter, more speeches upon speeches, clandestine letter. Back in the play I got in the letter, I will not tell you where I get it from. I will not tell you. But let me go on. I will not tell you who the person that signed 18 year. I will not tell you. I will tell you later. Nothing I could vividly sacrifice. Listen to this. Oh, this is the army people. Nothing I could vividly sacrifice for in my life than the interest of the head of state and, of course, of the National Democratic Party of Liberia. That the army people talking you. He telling the man, he telling the chairman, you want support, you will get more than support from us. Nothing I will not sacrifice for. The sacrifice time came. And many of the people that they knew, because some of them ran away. And they left Doe alone after they put him in the bubble. This is the same problem we're still facing. There's just another one. This one is a little bit, this one a little bit interesting. This one a little bit interesting. This one is a little bit interesting. Dear Mr. Superintendents, that means the entire superintendent all over Liberia. In my capacity as chairman of the Jesus Christ, original committee of the National Democratic Party of Liberia in I almost call it county name, in S County, and by virtue of authority in me invested as decision of the executive committee, I am writing you this letter while on tour of the county to request and thereby mandate your official to fully weaponize. Yeah, like we inside we will suffer, my people. Yeah, yeah. This guy, this is back in when was this written? December 9, 1984. That time they coming up. He said to weaponize and clothe with magnificent utterance for a calling to the executive and the head of state to make sure. Listen to this. The people they were looking for. Listen to this. To the head of state. Then he said, this thing too old, so I can't say, but anyway, provision of the first sergeant, blah blah blah. Oh, they want to carry my knee. No, that I mean, blah blah blah. Then he said, AFLG. Those of you at no clearance, David, you probably know what I come to say. AFLG2 personnel, they were in our county to make sure that the superintendents of different county weaponize the political activities of each of these people that represented the National Democratic Party of Liberia. My people, then when we sit down, what brought the war? Why Liberia was so hateful to each other? Because of political party. You're killing people, brothers and sisters, because they don't agree with you. And you expect for them to come and laugh with you? I don't think so. You know, and this I can say much, then I'll move on to the different subject matter. Rescue one, rescue two, rescue two, rescue one is calling. Rescue two, rescue one is calling. My co-host say you're not going to be part of it for a while. So rescue two, you need to come on immediately. I don't have a co-host right now, and I don't want Mr. So to put a mouth on me on my co-host business. So my co-host yesterday called in. He's not going to be with us for a while. He has a family issue he had to take care of. So nothing wrong with him. He's fine. He's great. In fact, he's great, 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 great. Better all the way, laughing all the way to the bank. But he's not going to be with us for a while. So I don't have a co-host right now. And then Mr. So will come out and start bluffing me because he got co-host. Please. Yeah. I don't have co-host right now. And you see the way I don't get no co-host now. Rescue two, rescue two, rescue one is calling immediately because Mr. So will soon start writing what kind of nyama here tonight because I don't got co-host. He will start making fun of me that I'm not genuine, how ridiculous I am, the most embarrassed person on the platform. He will kind of say all kind of nyama thing here tonight. So rescue two, please join me quick, quick. But let me go on back. So this I can say much. Okay. Back in 1981, when I was just, I don't know, maybe 5 years old or something like that. But there was a guy who used to be a minister of justice, Mr. Tommy. So good evening, my brother. Thank you for joining me. We appreciate it. I just reading something way back when you guys are still young, but most likely you probably know most anything. And I got another letter from, I think his name was Hammond. Hammond. He was the chairman of the National Election Commission, and they have oh their registration process. It was stuck against all the political party, just like Election Commission have all their things they weekend. How everything stuck against Gilmore. There was no joke. Gilmore knew very well before going to the everything they had is stuck against him. But I'm going to talk about that one. But I don't want. I'm going to Philadelphia on Friday. I don't want the children there to beat me up there. So I'll now open my mouth and there right now. Let me go back home. The people pay $800 because when you fly from here, $450, come back $900. That now you were able to spend $900 come to California to come beat me. You able that who crime man would spend $900 to come will be something to him. But right now when I open my mouth. When they see me over there in Philadelphia, they will beat me. I will not say anything right now. I'll close my mouth. But anyway, let me go on. Let me go on. So, so this guy is called Chair Chipo. He was a minister of justice. And this is the statement he made one night. He said, my people, the people that we're killing, because he included himself as a part of the government, the people that we're killing, they got brothers and sisters. They got family. You expect them to laugh? You stop it. They didn't listen. They did not listen. Let me read this again. Let me read this again. I will not read everything. Ministry of National Defense, that I can say. Let me read this again. Oh, rescue two is. You see that what I'm talking about? That's what I mean, man. Oh yeah. Now, Mr. So, bring it on now. Yeah, you say you're able to talk about that, Mr. So. I'm waiting for you. Now. I got my Terry. Jerry is doing fine. He's just not going to be with us for a while because of some other family issue, but he's doing fine. So let me thank you for joining me tonight. And I'm not talking all Tabata all by myself. So, Mr. So, when you're watching, please don't say anything because my rescue two is here with me. But let me read this here again. Let me read this. This is coming from higher up at the Minister of Defense. He said, Mr. Chairman, speaking the chairman of the NDPL, said, Mr. Chairman, dear Mr. Chairman, your letter dated May 14, 1985, requesting the support of the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia to ensure victory for the National Democratic Party of Liberia in in the forthcoming general election is hereby acknowledged. He ain't stopped there. Nothing I could vividly sacrifice for now in my life than the interest of the head of state and the cause of the National Democratic Party of Liberia. Therefore, be assured of the support of the army as I remain, blah, 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 blah. This is 1985 when election was coming. The army people, they said they were going to support the national, not support Liberia because Liberia now at war, but they're going to support the party, and they were not hiding it. They were not hiding it, and the people wondering why we have a war. And there's the other one here. This one here come from the chairman, county chairman, all over the county. But he said, "Dear superintendents, not just one superintendent, all over." And then this is the first time I hear back in 1984 somebody using weaponize the political process in the interest of the Democratic Party of Republic of Liberia, and that every superintendent must be able to be on board. My people, and we'll sit down here, we're wondering why we had a war. The only sad thing about this war that I see now, I've been reading a lot of stuff. They play our air right now is like you go into a rabbit hole. All I started since 6 o'clock this morning. It's 7 something, 8 something now. I just got up just to come on the show. When I read, I said, I'm not tired, man. Then when I open the other one, the other file, it start naming people, what they planning to do, how they're gonna do it. It was nasty. And I will expose it because people need, the Civil War is gone. We're not gonna relitigate that. But many of the young people, and Terry, I'll bring you on here. Many of the young people that suffered during this war will have friends when you're in elementary school because you're there all day. You get friends. You and your friend playing all day. You come home. You can't wait to go back to school the next day. So you will be friends with that. And then because of the war, you're moving here, there, going to Africa, going to Guinea, going to certain places you're not supposed to be. You're there because of these kinds of stuff. Because of these kinds of stuff. Let me read the last one. And I'll not call name right now, but I'll read it. Oh, they want about. I will call the name. Dear Dr. Kesselly, this one that is chairman writing to Kesselly to say thank you for joining, but let's be mindful that we, the National Democratic Party, are the party of the country. So, but let me read this one. Terry, I'll bring you in. I just reading these things here for the fun of it. Even
Go ahead, Libra. Yeah.
they were very serious. This is the one who are you calling me Tana? Oh, okay.
Unbreakable.
No, unbreakable food. Oh no, let me be nice now. Not unbreakable, but I'll be nice to breakable and people now. I can't talk nyama anymore. But anyway, Terry, listen to this. He said, "Dear Dr. Doe, in keeping with our desire to win the general election in October 1985, especially so since the People's Probate Court of Monrovia has granted request for the prohibition and registration of the documents of the Liberian Action Party, which we view as a serious opposition to our party. I have the honor, most respectfully, to recommend the following to you for your kind intervention and approval. Having investigated the various complaints sent to us by some of our partisans against some key government officials who were undermining the progress of the party, not the progress of the country, not the progress of the country, but the progress of the party. So for them, NDP or the Liberia, you don't have anything else. Liberia is NDP, NDP is Liberia. So if you undermine NDP, you undermine the Republic of Liberia. But this is the interesting one he said here. Okay, the key blah blah party in their area of assignment. We wish to recommend the immediate dismissal of the following individual, who, after our investigation, we have found them to be anti, not Liberia, but anti National Democratic Party of Liberia. I will stop there for now. But on a very serious, I read these things, I'm laughing now. But these are some of the root causes of the problem we have. If the Liberians are very good at sinking praises, putting you in a bubble where nobody else can tell you the truth, and they lie to you. Look what happened. These are people. These are what are men coming here tonight for? That trouble. What? Who? I scared of you. The few deal. What are men coming here tonight for? Me and my rescue two were coming to enjoy ourselves tonight. You coming to come through saying our Gary again tonight. Says go ahead. Thank you for joining us. But let me wrap this and I can come to you, Terry. On a very serious note, young people lives were changed because of foolishness like this. NDP is a political party. It's not the Republic of Liberia. And you want people to be dismissed because they're undermining NDPL, according to you, the chairman of a political party. But anyway, I will deal with that when I get back to home. I got bunch of papers here. I've been doing a PDF, and I got Eula and says here myself, Mamu with Divakula on that one. I got Eula. I got them exactly where I want them. The kind of people I got on there. The greedy people in the play.
God, John Toto for that one.
Yeah, exactly. The kind of people I got on the people. Eh? The kind of people I got on there. Some of them stay in America. I will call their name. One of the letter. These people are so far. One of the letter, they have over 15 of them signing. But I will get to that. But anyway, Terry, good evening. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you, John. What's on your plate? Then we can go to Sissy. I'm still traveling, as you can see.
Well, that I was looking up this rule of law stuff, who where it originated from. Yeah, my concern was drawn to that. The phrase rule of law, who where it originated from, or the law is the law, or something like that. Because I'm seeing Richard Kuhn, his owner group today, had on the something on Facebook. It says the law is the law. And we know that that phrase has been spoken widely by what his name, Musa ability, but Musa ability to borrow that phrase. And what I'm looking at, and then on the back of the t-shirt have we respect the majority rule. In front have the law is the law. That was the majority black owner attire today for the whole Rick Monroe and stuff like that. So I was trying to look up to see where did this rule of law stuff originated from. Yeah,
I would tell you,
it's
but
amazing.
when I get home, hopefully I know where I can find some of those. But I will tell you when I get home, where I can say to Richard Koo and his people.
But yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Terry.
No, go ahead.
No, but what I can say about this, what happened today, is
See you, brother Sissy. How you doing, sir? It's been a while.
you can do kumbaya now.
Congratulations,
Okay,
family.
Yeah. Sissy, congratulations. Kotu was telling us yesterday
Congratulations.
that they went to the graduation party.
Yeah.
Congratulations, my boy. Thank you. You make us proud. We appreciate it. So the next thing when I come over, that gold me are coming from. Oh, did I say that? I mean, my goodness. But anyway,
I will get it every now. Don't worry what is it. The whole team they can fix it. The whole team for you.
Terry, they can record people.
They
But,
found 3 minutes from my house.
you're not lead that topic. Alfonso can record. I beg you, you're not lead that topic. And people. But anyhow, yeah, thank you. But Terry, I think what I can say about Richard Koo and his people is they have an election. But how will you explain to young people who intellectually involved? You call yourself speaker, you still speaker, then you go for election again. Then are you still are you speaker really speaker? You go for second term? No. And Richard Koo and his people, including the administration, President Baka, owes Liberian people an explanation. And President Baka can, if they ask me to give that explanation, it's easy. We need to have a stable country, and Richard Kuma and his people provided that stability. That's why we did what we did. Finish. But you can't come out and not say anything. Richard Kuhn was now being elected, truly elected to the people, sending in congratulatory message and things like that. Then what happened to the last time? Let me bring you in, Sissy. This is deeper than that. Sissy, good evening. Thank you for your what's on your plate, sir.
Money finny are clear. The ball bounce, no air inside.
Okay.
You take all the effort you get from that ball. No routine. The ball bounce still on the ground.
That's my first time hearing you get talking there in Celine Dion.
He said you are gonna be cover.
The man pause. So look me.
Yeah.
I let my pro Senator Samuel Videga. You saw the man tie again. You saw you saw
They were looking like a rabbi, my man. From Israel. What are many okay in that place?
The whole country cracking, the whole country need mental help. So, look, all jokes aside though, I think the entire house, everybody from the Richie and Raccoon to the Fonatif Mikofa, they all behave funny. So all the time Fonatif had to resign, and they put it on the other side. You talk about the other man going through election when you're already speaker. Why ever send the Fonatif to resign? Couldn't resign. He knew he was going to resign. He poured through the thing for 1 minute. We remember, he said, well, remember Alamo. We stood behind him to remember Alamo. Then the Alamo resigned. Where you saw the Alamo resign? We stood behind the Alamo. Then you go, you take people and put them on camp to Boulevard Hotel. They say they're going to play some kind of football game. They don't want to go camp. Grown people then camping in hotel. What kind of foolery is this of the democratic system? Look, I will say this. I wish somebody else had come out in this election between what's the guy Musa Beledi and Koga. That would have been completely different. That was actually my hope. I was actually hoping that the other people, because I knew Kun was going to have to go. You're going to have to put his name out. Yeah, there's no way you're not going to contest to become speaker. But I was hoping that the other people that got some sense, according to the rule of law, caucus, and they're going to put, I've been sitting there, kind of tired with this thing, could have put a thumb in the eye of the Unity Party government by bringing in a consensus candidate, different than a Musa Beledi. And I think that person would have had a better chance at, maybe if they hadn't won, maybe they would have had a very good chance at running the title race. But it was sad. And like I keep saying, you know, what's on my mind today is the CMC. Sorry, the CDC. Sorry, the ANC. Sorry, the men that came from the 1%. In less than 2 months, you got 2 losses.
Yes.
You in the back of the senatorial race. You didn't even wait for your candidate to announce. You announce for the person. Then you go in there, you go in the speakership, they beat you. So the umpa, when Noah was parking, all the animals in 2x2, they call CMC, they can tell them only beating 2x2. I've been talking about.
Okay. Thank you. Again, folks, Samson Toe, still traveling here. But let's come back to you, Terry. Thank you.
I'm taking you. Let me finish that Terry on the other side.
Thank you. I know Nagbe will soon come for you. Nagbe will soon come for you. He will soon jump out of his hiding place tonight and join, you know. Since Jerry is having some, he's taking care of some family issue, and he's not going to be with her for maybe more than 6 months, maybe a year or so. I don't know, but he said he's going to be away for a while. So, but he's fine. He's very good. Everything good. But anyhow, let me come back to you, Terry. I know you said something about the the phrases that was being used, but that's not even the interest right now. I think for me, Richard Kuhn, now that he has done this legally, that he had come through the front door instead of the back door, hopefully he will put his right hand up this time around. And second thing is, I would hope that he would try to bring the house together, apologize to most of his colleagues, apologize to them to say what happened. Because what happened is not that was not even necessary to take hammer and chaser and try to break people's doors down and things like that when you know this thing is not even correct, but because you can never be charged in whatever action you take in the House of Representatives, especially in lines of carrying out your duty, to abuse the Liberian public resource like that is it's unacceptable. But now that he has gotten the speakership, I hope that he will come out and prove himself correct and just tell the Liberian people that this is where we are. Let's move on. Let's bring the spirit together. What do you think about that comment? You think about representing the government, Rachel Kuhn, I'll be doing good or I'll be doing more damage?
Well, Richard Kuhn is almost like Charles Sitter, right? You know, Charles Sitter came with a revolution. You were just talking about all the war stuff, people bringing war, blah, blah, blah. So, Charles Sitter brought the war. But what happened in the end? Charles Sitter, who brought the war and came with a revolution, went through a democratic process. Later on, he said he won't be president. So Chancellor could say, you know what, I think I need to recuse myself from the thing because Prince Johnson said the gun who liberation not rule. But guess what? Chancellor came and said he want to run too. He didn't apologize to us. He didn't tell us about how he came all up and down and thing. And the people voted for him overwhelmingly. Same thing with Richard Kuhn brought. He's a rebel. He came with a coup against the former speaker. And one way or the other, even if we don't like it, it turned out that the coup succeeded because one way or the other, they wanted him out. So even though it ended with a political dividend for Honorable Kofa, but it also ended in favor of the majority black. And even though the pursuit for what they wanted were delayed and it went over some time, but they achieved their goal. Their goal was achieved, you see, and they went to an election. And instead of them acting disgruntled and forcing and saying they will reject the Supreme Court ruling, they submit themselves to authority. They agree that they were not operating rightly, and they commit themselves to the democratic process, which gave them a higher recognition now. The people looking at them from a different perspective now. Now, and the history they have created have all weighted Madame Shirley's record. They have now set a new precedent for the House going forward. And that is what I'm looking at. And thanks to Honorable Kofa too, who also played the role he played to delay his resignation, which plunged the House into this particular saga that have led them now go to the court proceeding. And even though the court rule, as compared to other times when the court rule, when Akaras Graydon were there, they disobeyed the court ruling, they did their own thing and all of that. This is a new precedent that Richard Kuhn have set. So we have to give it to them because they said that, okay, we agree to the Supreme Court ruling. We accept it. I recuse myself, but I won't run. So if they flog me, let them flog me, but I won't run. You can say whatever you want to say that the executive induced the House and whatever. That is what happened in politics. But at the end of the day, we never saw all of that. We saw a democratic process that the Liberian people were asking for. We saw it clear today on television, so nobody can say this was not democratically achieved. That is what Richard Kuhn achieved today, and that must be noted. So because of that, credibility have been given to him, unless he damaged it.
Thank you. I agree with you in a sense, in that Richard Cohen and his people, not just Richard Cohen, but the entire uh, the three executive and judiciary, including the legislature, I think they truly this one man, one vote business is really holding fast to that, and it's whatever way you want to, how you want to say about what you want to say about that. But I think these are things for me, and say can disagree with me on it if you want. But these are things for me, however new it might be. But these are things that I consider institution building process. We're not there yet, but I don't think we're going to go backward. I think the next time, as somebody was saying today on the other network, that the next time, uh, if they're going to want to remove, they can't just do it fly by night. They're going to have to do it correctly, because you know the process now. That if you try to remove somebody the way you did it, even you might have the numbers, but if you don't do it right, they can let you and your government struggle for a while. And I think this is exactly what they think. And for Coon, because Coon could have come out and say, you know what, I don't want to listen to the Supreme Court. I'm already speaker. So you go and come go out. Frandy resign as speaker. Frandy resign as still speaker. But I think one of the interesting makes, and I'll bring this in quickly, is the involvement of the former president, Madam Salif, for her, because before she came in, what's his name? Franti Kofa was not budging. Even President Waka tried talking, Franti Kofa was not budging at all. But she came in less than 2 weeks. Here we are. Because I'm not too sure, because I think Franti Kofa's idea was come and remove me. Bring your number and remove me. That has always been his take on that. What happened? Okay, you don't have your number. We all know, the entire country know, but I don't want to fight with you anymore. The Supreme Court have ruled, and the entire world have seen that yes, indeed, I'm a speaker. I will leave now as a speaker. Yeah, from there to say you can't remove me, that's I really didn't get that. But again, everything about Flanty Kofa is always about Liberia. However way Liberia need to move forward, and I think he himself decided it's enough. Is enough. But my own thinking now is the involvement of the former president, Salim. Let's hear from you, Stacey.
Yeah, it's good that I think the pastor has been preaching to you way too long, but I don't think it's time to start forgiving people right away and start giving them credit. None of these people deserve credit. Francisco has never been about Liberia. If he was, he would have resigned the very first week. You're not going to put us in a constitutional crisis. He's being about his own pocket. And he even complained about they were not receiving what was due to them, their coupons and other things. So it hasn't been about Liberia. We shouldn't say that. For Francisco to sit down and that Ellen Johnson said it double, that the one will come to you. Everybody else talk to you. That the devil was come to you. That you listen, then I will say, oh yeah, you get a bro. The devil incarnate. I talk to you. That the one you take. All the pastors and I told him tell I want it. Man, Joe, we are the author. Him tell I want it. That the Umaya were walking, bent over 64 degrees. That she the one we listen to. I'm begging you, man. Umaya told that thing here. Though, Fanatic Kofa and Kun, they deserve public weapon in the public square. 25 latches, what you do in the village. Fanatic Kofa for telling us that I will be here until you can move me with your numbers. And all of a sudden, the number can come and you move from there. Why you waste our time? Kun, for refusing the first time, when they say, bro, go through the railways, again, the way bringing up people do the other thing, he taking your and car and all the kind of thing, wasting our time with Tabata. The two of them deserve 25 latches under the flagpole. Somebody, the seniors in the school, which should be the senators, hold their hand. And I want for Koga to be the one whipping them.
Because he can jump over about it.
I'm very serious. The Supreme Court acted very, 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 very wrongly, disappointingly in this whole saga. When they first ruled and decided that they were going to take Latin phrases instead of using Pele phrases or some kind of Loma phrase would have been easier for us to interpret, they go take ultra virus and bring it to the plate. Then somebody comes to you and asks you for interpretation. You take forever knowing the emergency and the relevance of this particular situation. You wait until the people act on law to pass a budget that pays you, Supreme Court, you accept. They pass a budget that funds your activity you accept. So my problem now is we are in a constitutional crisis. Here is the reason. The fact that Kun could recuse himself to go back to election means that he recognizes that all of the actions that were taken under him were illegal. Therefore, the budget that the government is operating on right now is illegal. Everything that was done within that spare is illegal. That is a constitutional crisis. The president of the Republic of Liberia, through the executive branch and their interpretation, they can have some leeway, so this is how we interpret it. But now that you no longer have that leeway, when everybody else is saying, oh, the Supreme Court said that was not our interpretation, and everybody else is saying, oh, we're going back to another process, we're going back to where we're supposed to do it the right way, what say you now about whatever bill, if any, that originated in the House or that had a House concurrence that passed? Is that legal? Is that a law? So right now we are spending the Liberian poor money illegally. So for me, I'm not ready to get these people any pats on the back. They created a constitutional crisis. They created a crisis in civics, especially the opponent that can wear the heavy gun and walking around. I know they hit too much in the Supreme Court so they can think. That was crazy. In other countries where you see these things, what else were on their docket that was so important that they had to prioritize over explaining their rulings when they created so much chaos? So for me, if you really, I really want to be fair to Nelo. Look, Fonati and I, we don't see eye to eye, but I appreciate him for saying that he wanted a legal ruling, a legal precedence, a legal interpretation. For him, as a counselor of law, and as other lawyers, even Magate Wongonglo had an opinion on that. Now this will become a case study in Louis Attergren School of Law, and even in civics, right? For me, that's what I wanted. I kept saying that as an educator, we needed something.
So let me quickly ask you this then. Since you already, I think you said that more than 2 times, that whatever happened in this government during the chairmanship of Cone was illegal. So can anybody sue them?
Yes. And that is where I think people that have spine in Liberia, this is where I'm looking at people that keep calling themselves advocates for law and rule of law. Even my God, they won't go calling it out. We need to test it out. We need to stop them from spending any money under the budget that was passed under Richard Kun at that time. Sue them. Sue the Supreme Court. Take all the gas left from them. Let everybody get until they can go back and redo the budget. Or pass a stopgap budget. I don't care. But whatever they do right now is illegal. And this is where, a lot of our people can make noise. But when it comes to the real time for, like I can say, the play was supposed to read before more open. When you read to that play now, then they all say that. Because the liberal, let's be intellectual for a minute, right? Speaker Kun recused himself to go through a speakership election, meaning that he recognized the ruling of the Supreme Court's interpretation in his head that whatever he was doing during that time, he was not speaker. Okay, fine. So if you recognize that, you have to go back to re-election, then everything you did during that time was illegal, including the budget. We got to go back to that. But I guarantee you this is Liberia. 2 days from now, it will be over with. Something fully will come in the breaking. Everybody will join in and be the NIA. And this thing will never be studied. And I'm waiting for the Liberian National Bar Association that's already split on the ruling itself to come out and tell us what is their role. Are they going to file? Because they have action, they got grounds to stand on because it's their taxes that's based. And you can't be spending money without a budget. So for me, that is, for me, I joke around a lot, but I do appreciate that Fonati Kofa was able to hold his ground to get to a final ruling. I am just disappointed that if his thing was bring your number to take me from there, that would another person is supposed to listen to. But I guess everybody got somebody to listen to, right? So I got to give him that at least he listened at the end of the day. But now we all know, like you all said, that when you want to remove somebody now, we know that there is a process that you have to follow. Thanks to Fonati Kofa. So that we got to give him credit for that. But everything else beyond that, I think the Supreme Court deserve another whipping together, the two of them.
So, Terry, let me come to you now, and you will be in a very good position or unique position to actually talk about this, and that is, Sister just pointed out some interesting point here, which I'm not a lawyer, but I play one on TV, and I can agree with him based on the law that I study on TV, which is nothing. I can say that yes, this is quite on a very serious note. I think legal minds can challenge these people. But see, Terry, let me ask you this: do you think that if you challenge it and the Supreme, you go to you think even Supreme Court will will take the kind of case, knowing full well that it most likely might even affect them? You're muted. Rescue
Sorry.
two.
Well, from what I am seeing, legislators have protection. They got immunity in their capacity as legislature, operating in the duty and the function. There is some kind of protection that they have.
But
So,
that does
like
not
this,
apply to the budget though.
no, no,
I'm not saying sue a specific person. I said the whole country for violating the law.
The
yeah,
budget.
but that's what I'm saying now. How will you? Who will do the persecution? Who will persecute them?
What do you
Because
mean? When people sue Trump here, for going illegally, who can prosecute it? You go to court. You don't need a prosecutor. You carry your own lawyers to court.
yeah, but even the president himself has some immunity too, especially when it comes to
I don't think you
setting
understand what we're trying to say. What we're saying is you can stop the government. There can be injunction placed on them spending any money because
Okay,
the money they spend is illegal.
yeah, I got your point, but they could argue that was before Supreme Court ruling. Now Supreme Court has ruled. The law begins from the Supreme Court ruling.
Don't think about taking Yaga Kolba position because you'll be more than Yaga Kolba.
The Supreme Court ruled already before the budget was passed. The Supreme Court only gave clarification.
Yeah,
so the ruling was there before they passed the budget.
Okay, yeah, the ruling was there, but the ruling did not state what this ruling they came up with is different from the previous ruling they gave. And by law, the Supreme Court can add to the bill of information extra. They can add some
Terry,
extra.
my question to you, Rescue
The bill of
2.
information just to explain was not a ruling.
Rescue 2, my question
No, it
to
can
you.
be. They did extra things on the bill of information that they did not do on the previous ruling they gave.
Okay,
Well,
I agree. Let me ask you this. My question to you, because it seems like everything you say here now is that Supreme Court themselves might be entangled into this web of Sissy, Minnesota politician web of you don't see right now. You think if somebody was to leave and I got money tomorrow, I win a lottery tomorrow, I go to the lottery and sue the people, you think Supreme Court will take the case?
well, it depends. The Supreme Court could take, but first of all, will you be suing the Supreme Court? Will you be suing
I sue the
government
Republic
through
of
Supreme
Liberia.
Court or through the court system?
I'm suing the Republic of Liberia for utilizing the people money illegally.
Yeah, there's a possibility you can win the case, but you know it's not going to be.
The spending arm of the Republic is the executive.
Yeah.
So you can sue the executive for spending money that was not legally appropriated.
That's a fun thing. That's a big case that maybe professional constitutional lawyers can challenge, But my thing, I'm not looking at I'm not actually arguing from the perspective whether if it can happen. I'm arguing from the perspective whether if the law will allow you to succeed if you file in that kind of if you actually sue on that grounds, because the protection that the legislatures have when they in that particular parameters give them the right to do a lot of things and go with impunity. That is why somebody laws need to be
I think you're mixing two things. Nobody's saying sue a legislature. Nobody's saying sue a legislator.
But you have to sue the legislature in order for you to be able to determine that the budget was illegal.
No, you don't. You sue the people that are spending the money.
Yeah.
And the spending arm of the government is the executive. That is the reason, even here, when Trump decides that he would take certain money that was not appropriated for anything else and say he's stopping using, for example, people sue him. Yeah. The executive branch to put a hold. And there can be injunction placed. Nobody's saying go grab a legislator, put her in jail.
So,
They don't
so
have
you
it.
say,
And
so
the
what you're
reason-
saying now, it's possible, that's a fine point, but Richard Kunek will say we call the budget to recast it.
That's the point. They
That's
have to
the point.
recall it. That's the point I'm saying.
You know, now that he's
that's
a
a good point.
now that
That's
he's
the
a
point I'm
true
making.
speaker.
So they have to
Yeah, then
recall
he
it
can
until they
recast
get
the budget.
recall.
Yeah, now if
Okay, they
they
can
want to
recall.
get out of
Everything is
it,
spending right now ultra virus.
yeah,
That's what I
now
said.
if they want to get out of it, they can recall the
Yeah, they can
budget now.
recall the budget and
and say
recall.
all
That's
the
why I
time
said
that
they
we
can pass
did,
spending
this
their
is-
budget, right? Real quick. Right? But
exactly.
they have to get back in line with the Constitution.
Right. That's
Because
a,
you know
that's
what
a-
happening now, and Terry, similar thing happened when we're beginning that, bro. When Amos Sawyer then came to power, he wanted Baron Tal to be his minister of finance so bad,
I got that
he
too.
allowed Baron Tal to sign the bank note.
Yes.
When Baron Tal went for confirmation, he was rejected. We were passing around $1 billion signed by Baron Tal when Baron Tal was never confirmed.
Right.
It's the same thing that's happening right now.
I got that too. And and there's a letter between Baranta and sorry after that. There's some interesting thing happening in our country. But anyway, we'll get to that. But anyway, again, folks, Samson told Liberal Public, the president who was traveling all over the country. I'm not going to be in Sacramento until next Monday. And so I was in Kentucky on Friday, Saturday. I left Sunday because Grand Union Association had a election over there. And the election was very, very antivirus. It was ridiculous to be, but I can't say much because I'm going to Philadelphia on Friday. I don't want it to beat me over there. So you're listening.
We saw the thing on video everywhere. We know how it was.
But you'll join me when I get back to Sacramento. Because in order for you to leave from the East Coast to come beat me in California, you have to spend $450 to come, and then another $450 to come by. So I don't see any crime that I would spend $900 to come beat me over there anyway. So, but we'll talk about it. Let me come to you now. Say thank you very much. So let's leave this suing business here, and let's get on to governing process of this. In all of this saga here, do you see our father foot in this here? Can you hold our father for a little bit, or he has no responsibility whatsoever in this?
I say he probably has a finger somewhere in it, but I can't hold him responsible. There's separation of powers. Even if they show him a hand shaking that they give him money to somebody, the people who are accepting it for him to disrupt their household are their problem. You allow somebody else to leave their house and come and disrupt your household, that's your problem. But here's what I think. As far as moving forward, I think there is a bigger job that Kun has than just remembering which hand to raise when he gets sworn in. And that is bringing back his colleagues. And when I say bringing them back, not pretending, not like our friendship, actually bringing them back. Actually going on a legislative retreat for reconciliation. I know they will spend a Brempo money, a Brempo be vexed, but that is needed. Because the impasse created serious...
What budget they're going to use to go on that one?
They want to recast the other budget.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go to the illegal budget.
When they recast the other budget. But he has to do that. And the people that are paying for them to camp to RLJ and to the other hotel, maybe they can pay for them to camp again. But look, here's the thing, on a serious note. They need it. For one thing, to get back together, refocus, and start to respect one another. I said this on this show many times ago. There are over 5 million people in Liberia, and they pick 70 plus people and say you're leaders. That is a privilege that is available to few. They have to take it seriously. There are people telling you, go and make decisions for me and my children and my grandchildren. And in order for you to do that, you have to be able to look at the next person in their face and convince them on a law that you want passed. And if you cannot even speak to that person because you're still mad about something that happened, the whole section is going to be just people showing up, sit down, and nothing happens for the Liberian people. And Richard Kun, I hope he doesn't want to be a speaker under whose gavel no major laws were passed or reforms were passed.
Say, Goya, do you think the narrative that you just lay out, plain and perfect, as far as I'm concerned, you think the Liberian people ready for that year?
But I think somebody got to lead it. And I think Richard Kun has a red spot. I think Richard Kun can, look, Fonati Kofa didn't run. But he shouldn't mistake that Fonati Kofa does not have power in the House. He needs to start maybe with behind the scene caucus meeting. Maybe this is when he can bring in Dabo again and bring in the president and bring in the former president and start from there with Bility and Kun and Falah and they all can sit down there and start from there. But they need a retreat. They need to reset. The Speaker of the House of Representatives have to show to his colleagues that he doesn't keep grudges. A lot of those positions that were given out because people were away, now that they reformed this new leadership, I think they need to think critically about making sure that they're inclusive, that they are giving positions out to other people who really deserve it, whether or not they didn't vote for you, whether they were with Kun or not.
So what are you suggesting that Kun and his group go back to antivirus stuff and go back to status quo and say?
But they already went when they went to the election. They already went.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. And those who were committee chair on Kofa, do they go back to the?
You don't necessarily have to bring all of them, right? Because this is a political game. You can't just slash all your soldiers that stood with him. That's how they're considering it. But if you're not magnanimous in victory, you are not a true leader.
Thank you.
You can't be beating somebody person on the ground. You still kicking the person, say, sorry, I beg you, they're hiding their feet. You still want to go from wearing them up. It doesn't make sense. Right? And they have to work with these people. So for me, if I were advising Richard Kun, I would say right now you're getting all these congratulatory messages. People are clapping for you, yelling for you. You won. Kun strong, Kun 46 strong. Yeah, everything. Yes. Those people will not be in the house when you need to have bills passed. You need to be with your colleagues every day. You have to be a leader of those people. And in order to lead, you first have to lay out, be the first to extend the olive branch to Councillor Fonati Kofa and to Musa Belete, and you'll come together and bring all your caucuses together and do the Liberian work.
Thank you. Terry, let's come to you now that we have this thing all squared out. Let's come to you very quickly, and that is the government have done, including the executive and everybody else, they have done whatever they have to do. I think they have made all of us proud again that there's no fighting war, there was no violence whatsoever. They stood their ground. They went to the Supreme Court, whatever it is happening, it's happening. Now that we're out of this here now, we're cool that we have seen within the last 6 months or so. Do you think he has it within him to be a unifier? One question. The other question is, can Franti Kova be like, people say, you came my pa, you came my ma, I will vote for you. They turn against Franti Kova for some time, and then here come Kun misbehaving like nothing else. And Franti Kova say, okay, I want to do it again. Can it go that way? You came my ma, you came my pa, I will vote for you. We don't like you, Franti Kova. We didn't want to say on you, but Kun is worse than you. We want you now. Can that happen?
Well, for the last question first, I doubt that will happen because that house is a very crack house where people looking at the interest alignment. They don't care about. That's a political house. They will not care about the people the people they're presiding over. They don't care about the constituent. They care about the interest. And it's a political theater. So, they care about the constitution, but this little bit. They care more about their interest because of what they have invested to get them to where they are. They want to collect back because most of them politically, they are business oriented and all that. So, bringing Kofa do not have the weight anymore. He lost the connections, everything. So, Kofa is not coming back. That is not like the politics that they play also in Liberia, where anybody can say. So I doubt that will happen. But the era of whether Kun, I did underestimate Kun. I think Kun is a unifier. because I saw some things of a unifier. For Kun to look at himself and say, okay, you know what, I would deny myself and submit myself to the law. I will submit myself to the law. I will follow the routine. So they say Speaker Kofa is going to resign. I'm going to go through the process. Just by doing that and winning that much vote over Musa ability in the House, show that Kun has the ability to unite the House. All right. And after everything, his interactions, his movements, he has shown some level of calm, peace, stability. People seem to be comfortable. People seem to be comfortable with Kun's leadership for now. All right. The only thing I don't trust is his credibility that he brings to the leadership. Is he credible enough? Maybe, because every leader have a weakness. Could a weakness be money? Because we're hearing that they spend more, we're hearing that they spend millions of dollars within a short period of time. And could that be the means that will bring his leadership down? Because they got some stubborn head guys. I know Ability have his 26 men. They're not going nowhere. All right? They're just waiting for something to happen. So Kun got to work on his credibility record. Because I think that will lead to his downfall. Because his men, Thomas Falatu, are here with money thing. He's not too correct with it. So what we are looking at that could be the downfall of Kun could not really be unification. Kun downfall could come on the basis of interest, on the people interest. When you start playing with the people money, Kun is going to be history. So he got to work on some things when it comes to how he manages the house budget, how he manages his own budget, and how he take things on the level where how he lobbied for his colleagues to get contracts and things for the district, how he wrapped around them to make them feel comfortable. Once he can maintain that majority and maintain those people and keep that flow, Kun will be speaker for the next 6 years or 4 more years, in my opinion.
Thank you. Since answer this one, then I'll open the line quickly. And that is, do we see this saga repeating itself shortly here? Or you think they're going to try their best, the Musa ability group going to try their best to poke Kun, to poke him so bad that he will not get back into an old shell of being ridiculous with his left hand behavior and what have you? Or you think he would be a true leader and say, you're not going to move me. Whatever you do here, we're laughing about it. It's nothing personal. What do you think will happen here very shortly?
First thing, the ball boss. So I'm bouncing can answer for rule of change. So now I'm feeling. The people usually try to remove somebody almost every turn. I don't think there was an appetite there to try this anytime soon. More besides, in the short political history of Musa ability, he does not keep anything beyond one-term duration. Everything get expiration date for Musa ability. He went to Liberty Party, there was expiration date. He took the frame and carried it to CPP. The people carried the whole engine to Joseph Boaga. CPP lost. He take the frame of CPP, he go create CMC. CMC lost. The make committee are free and carry different play. I guarantee you those people that voted with him will not stay with him in the next 3 months from now. And man, it's almost like you're buying food from Audi. The expiration day is in less than 30 days. Right? So all my maintenance get going to expire. So I don't see as somebody that got any kind of political longevity in anything whatsoever. So I don't see that. But I do, however, I keep saying this. This thing became so acrimonious. It went beyond, it got personal. We saw on video some lawmakers attempting to assault other lawmakers. That is beyond intellectual disagreement now. That is beyond legal argument. That is beyond me disagreeing on the way you interpret the rules or whether you know the meaning of ultra-virus or not. People got physical. Right? to the extent that people are being accused of arson, of burning down the Capitol. Rachel Kuhn does not want to preside over a household where people have stopped arguing with you simply because they don't care about you anymore. You know, you walk in our house and you're cool, tell them, Madame, hello, you say, hello, and nobody arguing with you, but you know nobody happening to her with you. Right? That is when you got to pass around to let people know you're the man of the house. And anything you have to do, they've already lost the battle. And every time, because Kuhn will have to always show that he's the speaker. If he doesn't prioritize bringing back people together, it will be hard for him to lead that group. I don't think somebody's going to try to remove him anytime soon, but he's going to look like one of the worst speakers that Liberia ever had because he's not going to be able to pass anything meaningful. And you will see that in the next iteration of the budget conversation, whether they decide to have a new one right now or they wait till next year, you will see whether Kuhn has the ability to be magnanimous based on the kind of conversation that happen in the next budget. If you don't bring people around right now, they're waiting for the next budget. In the house, that's the biggest place they can fight. The next budget. We're going to wait for the next budget. That's when the argument is going to come in. So he has to be able to really bring people around. And like I keep saying over and over, they all did their foolery. But we have seen that people that have people in the house that follow them. Fonati Kofa has people that follow him. You need him. Besides, he was Speaker of the House. You need him to teach you some things that you are just going to be learning on the job right now. You need him. If anything, make him your secret advisor. You need, there's Musa ability with all the jokes. Still got 20 people behind him. If you need him, and if you can't come, pew people away from him. Make yourself so attractive that people will pew away from people who don't want to come along. But you have to bring these leaders along. If they decide to do this thing like a faction, where he still has majority black wearing t-shirt passing around and they come from some kind of country cook, they will have a problem in the house. You'll have a serious problem in the house. Because you'll always be looking behind his back to see whether there is another coup coming up. So that's my one advice is he has to lead. And the way to lead starts with reconciliation with his colleagues.
Thank you. Terry, let me come to you. Folks, the number is there. Give us a call here. We're not going to be here long tonight. I'm not doing that great. I'm doing my best. But we're not going to be here that long tonight. So, Terry, let me come to you here quickly. The issue of coal staying long might not stay long. I don't, like Sissy was saying, I also would suggest that the representative themselves don't have the appetite for any more of these debacle that happen here. And so I don't see it even coming 1 year, 2 years from now either. But if Cole show some sort of ability to lead, what choice you think they have, Terry? What can they do? I don't believe they want to fight anymore among themselves. But this, besides that, if Cole is not able to unify them, if Cole is not able to lead, what do you think most likely will happen? Rescue 2, you're muted.
They will raise the 49 because you know that Kofa is already a lawyer and he knows what happened to him. So if Kun is not doing what he's supposed to do, they will raise the 49 on him. Once some money will just wake up and they raise 49 on him and people put a hand up and say, we don't want you. And there will be nothing he can do. There will be nothing the government will do. So he got to, you see, the unification that I think my senior brother is talking about is that you got to be able to attract what the people want to them.
Hold on, just give up a minute. Let Terry land and we'll come to you.
Because it's not only about, oh, my man, let's go to dinner, let's go hang out. No, that representative in that house wants something happen for his district because he wants to be re-elected 2029. So if you're not bringing that to him, you don't want him to get re-elected. All right? And you cannot start fighting political wars with the representative because each of those representatives have constituents that they're depending on some projects here and there to get them re-elected because they want to be in the 56th or legislature. So when they see you as a threat to that, forget it, you history. No matter how much money you put on the table, you history. So you have to be able to make sure that most of them are satisfied and that the government you are working with is meeting their needs to be able to meet their constituents. Otherwise, you hanging over there is just untenable.
Thank you. Caller, let's go ahead. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I did to the Jack calling from Brazil.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear from you, my brother.
I'm not happy. I'm not going to say that.
What?
I'm not happy.
Why are you not happy?
Why happy in Liberia remind me of 2007, when after the war they rewarded all the warlords in the country for their government. That's what happened today. What Amen did, if by those people did, you are not supposed to. They're not supposed to put his name on the ballot for you to run. They was only put on neutral person to run. What they are giving.
Hold on. Let me put the other person on, please. Just hold on. Let me merge this guy. All right. Caller, go ahead. Finish then.
Let me make it quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say Panani, you don't even have for the not to move. But I agree, okay. I will resign. So now, why would you put back those people back on the ballot for the mental run? So it just reminded me about the rebel that we wanted in the country. We wanted to reward them. So that the thing is, so today I feel that we rewarded a rebel today for disrespecting our country, for disrespecting the constitution of our country. And then when we start that, we rewarded him, and people are happy. Congratulations. Congratulations this person here. That's the way I feel. That's my opinion. And I feel very bad. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, caller from Massachusetts, you're next. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Oh, Samson, this is Mr. Jackson. How are you, sir?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of points that I want to clarify. I think CC talk on some of the things, especially that have to do with whether they can be sued or not. This.
Hold on. Let me merge this caller, please. Just hold on. Go to sleep here soon. All right, caller, go ahead. I merged them already, but go ahead. Make your point so the next one can come in.
And I think it started off first, as to what actually went wrong, and then he did talk about, whether the Supreme Court, did well, with the ruling. And I really have problem with the ruling, because what happened is the Supreme Court, when you make law, the law must have, a deductive reasoning. And it must back the people, law and culture.
Hey man, coming to take out the psychology class here again tonight.
No, it's not something, but if you are saying that it will go, it's ultra virus, it means that they should go back and do it, legally.
So, the labor and the caller went missing.
Sorry. Hold on, caller. Let me merge the other caller back again, please. Hold on. Caller, are you there? Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay. All right. Go ahead. The first caller. Go ahead. Finish your point, and then Mr.
David. Okay. So the 49. There's no way that they can get 49. No way. Now I was expecting the Supreme Court to say, I've been saying there is no 49. What we're going to do is to come on, to see whether both of you people can come here, and come on, to craft a law that will make it comfortable. Because they didn't do that, they had a capital building ground. Who do we going to hold liable for that? They didn't do anything, something. Their first thing was they must go back, they must do it, and their way they left it. Now they came up with a ruling, and that ruling, nobody could interpret it. So to me, they didn't do that. They didn't do the Liberian people is good. To me, that is a Supreme Court.
We passed that now. What is the way forward, my brother?
The way forward now, let me take it for. I think you say, what up, when I keep Kofa, you came my mind, you think I will vote for you. That's an issue, something. And what I'm saying, for me, it will be very hard for me to judge Richard currently. But however, I will give him credit as well. If you look at his 7 months, he held on to the majority group, and none of them wavered. So that is one part of leadership I will give him credit for. Now, can he do that in the space of time that he's been holding up to the end of the term? I can't tell. But one I will give him credit was that to make sure that he held that. And the issue of going to the law to say, they have the election today, it was a mere formality. There is no way that these people could say they will leave, and Richard Kuhn, because all of them are given position.
Thank you.
So to me, Richard, Benedict was just making fun out of himself to me. Because there's no way that they could say they will leave to go beyond Benedict. Understand? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll be back. You want to make it short, please, so that the other caller can come in?
Okay. No, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Davis, go ahead. You're next in line.
Hey, Mr. Tom, how you doing?
Fine. Thank God.
I've been saying here that the council in the House of Representatives come to our hand today. But what I observed today, to me, Richard Kuhn the way Richard Kuhn made today, you never told anybody from the Conservative group who are law group. He only get all the key opposition to what John that stood with him. I know that in politics, the reward is not in heaven, your reward is not in earth. But if you want to be general, if you want to reconcile things, you are looking between there at least until 1 or 2% from that leadership and bring them on board to work along with him. And I'm seeing that there's a beginning of the fight because the good or not, who they are trying to fix. For the six, if they feel number of people to join in getting like they may not get kind of who is getting again or come tomorrow. But who do they have behind it that support it? Because when you look at the opposition are not united. So for the people in the who have a backing of the executive, for example, the election I hear CDC only get $50,000 to each other over there. So I think we need to spend that money to remove who to move. The other thing cannot reach out to the reason getting for the time leadership to stay through position and go to them. I don't think Kuhn will stay in that position for a longer time. Thank you for the show.
Thank you. You'll be the last caller anyway. Okay, thank you. Oops. Did I just cut someone else out? Hold on, guys. Let me find out who had a missed call here. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so everybody spoke. Okay, all right. I didn't call anybody. Okay, all right. Sissy, take us home. Give us a closing so we get. I need to do some other stuff here.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good show. I think we are at a crossroad. I'm reminded of a story that said, the little boy had a bird in his hand behind his back. I was an old man, the bird in my hand, it said dead or alive. And old man said, it depends on you, right? So right now we are at that place where I think the elders, those people that we chose amongst the 5 million of us to say, you go and make laws to make our lives better, can get past all the other things and try to do that. But I think it is possible for good things to happen after all of this craziness. It is possible that, a phoenix could rise out of the ashes. But there has to be a willingness for that to happen. And I just want to say thanks to LPR, thanks to all of you that have been holding down the ground. It hasn't been easy too. I've been dealing with a bunch of other stuff, but I think I'm back. I think I'm back. I'm turning back on, so I'll be back here as much as I can too. Terry, thank you for holding down the fort.
Rescue too, Ben. But we understand your position.
And with our new guy in the White House, they didn't cut in money to education institutions. So I had to focus before my job goes away. I had to focus a little bit. So.
No, we understand that. We understand.
We're back.
You got to hold on to your job, bro. We understand. Now you have time, join us. Rescue 2 and myself be beating. I'll be calling him. He'll come on, say a few leave, but he's coming. They Rescue 2. Let's hear from you, Rescue too. As you know, my voice don't even sound well right now.
Yeah,
Somehow.
it seems that since you move on your Zoe bush, you can't make it.
I
The
tell
people
you,
are
I
not
tell
being
you,
correct.
our way
The people are
Alfonso,
using Zoe is
our
not the people here.
our way Alfonso day before yesterday, he got a car. I didn't bring my car to him. He brought a cartel. You see, that a mistake I made.
I
I
see.
didn't bring my
Well,
cartel.
the Prophet King Carter went missing when he went to jail. Like, hey, I thought, hey, I first get so. Oh, look at what I Carter.
Oh, wait a minute. When the truck, the
The prophet
cartel
went
got
to jail. Carter went missing.
Ah, shit, you kidding me? Go ahead,
But
Derek.
yeah, Libra, but like we were saying, right? When the legislature start making noise, you got to be very careful as a speaker. I remember when they had our workshop and they got under Colette. Colette was making noise. Colette was under something. Colette was almost like in a fixed fight with the guy from Bon County. What his name? The guy that was something. The other guy from Bon County. I mean that Bon County. Yeah, Bon County. I forgot his name. The one who said
Ivan Cole.
Melvin Cole. And Colette struck some very important points. All right, concerning money business. And people did not listen. And I want to believe that was when the undermining was taking place. And these guys did went to some big workshops, some big, conferences when Fonati Kofa was speaker. But the problem, where they really had problem was the money era. And I think that's the main factor in our house. Once people are not generating what they're supposed to generate to be able to get projects going on in the districts, you are history. It's just a matter of time. Because those projects those guys are going to be doing, those small little things they will be doing, most of the time we think that it's actually for themselves, but most of the time it's because they're preparing the way for the next elections. That is why you see most of them stay longer time in the house. So if they cannot get those little projects that they want to get done in the districts, you as a speaker, no matter what you say, it does not matter at a certain time. So if Richard Kuhn can provide that opportunity, especially working with the executive get all the bunch of money for them to put it behind schools and other things, they fuel it into legislature to be able to gain the speakership. I don't know for what kind of intent they have. I don't know if they want to take our country up pieces, but he have to be able to navigate with the executive to attract resources to his colleagues. Otherwise, anything is possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Ambrose, I didn't hear from you tonight. Please call me on Thursday. I'd like to hear from you and give us your opinion as well. Ambrose, we'd like to hear from you. All right, Sissy, my brother.
But
And,
why your man Koga acting like he's the biggest guy on the whole entire
because
That
he's a
the man will give me the rotten to whip the people under the flagpole.
he's a senator now. Yeah, what he told the majority, I'm not coming. I'm not part of your son again. You're going to leave my knee alone.
But looking at what her name, the protem that is not happy with him coming today. Her voice or tone were not looking correct.
But everybody too were not correct today. Even Jeremy, they call about two were not correct today. Don't have more voice at them, man.
I'll tell you, my man Yeke, he's shouting. I said, I listen to Yeke talking. I said, that Yeke, yeah.
Well, I think Yeke position. I think Yeke also fought a good fight. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
As much as he was very abrasive and what have you, but I think if
but
you
if
take all that,
coming now, Yeke will start doing more crazy than he ever did before.
of course, they got to be careful with him now because
they have lifted a ban on a man.
This is the man that I was talking about. This is the man that if Kun is not careful, that will bring it down because he might poke Kun so hard, Kun will respond, and his response will make the other colleagues to say, "Oh, no, the guy not serious, not serious." You can't ignore Yeke.
You ready to Yeke can organize a collection of people?
No, he himself, Yeke himself. You saw what he did. He grabbed that some time ago. He was wearing sat in his speaker chair and grabbed the gavel.
But the thing is, he doesn't have vote, and what we learn is you gotta have votes to make any change in that place.
I
So
understand, but if he provoke Kun and Kun react negatively, that's gonna look bad. That's gonna.
It's not how the man know that he's been in a POW today. Where man talking, yeah, when the guy this prisoner exchange, you leave, you gotta go sit down.
This thing has been a very big toll on all of them anyway. So
but this process is a learning curve, man, for every one of us.
Yeah.
To me, I enjoy the whole thing. I've learned the history I've been made.
One of the things this thing has done for you too, Terry, is that you are a fast learner, that I know, and this thing has expanded your involvement, politically involvement into political activities of Liberia very greatly, because when you predict these things, you now do it with so much confidence that I dare not to challenge that anymore. And I think this is something that is happening all over. Most Liberians are truly one of the things I really appreciate about George Weah and his people. In as much they were putting us in a mess, but they open up the government for people to see. All of the secrecy were coming out. All this government is supposed to run. Terry, let me run. I'm getting ready to start coughing plenty here.
Yeah. Good night.
So thank you guys. Thank you. Let's join Mr. Soul tomorrow and see. Again, folks, Samson told LeBron Paul on the weather, but I am here and we will be here again tomorrow. I want to thank all of you. Thank you. Let's join Mr. Soul Show tomorrow and see how good we can do it. With that said, I will say good night to you and good night, folks.
Rachel de Kibo, je adé. Gogo, Yadua, Bagno, Yadia, Corapao, Abigodo, Yadi. Abigodo, Yadi, Stefan Soko, Awabile, Nana, Amakinara, Godo, Yadiba, Stefan Soko, Corapao, Aya, Godo, Yadiba, Amana, Very Casawa, Amakinara, Very Titi, Papa, Palesa, I don't you get by your secret down by we are in a go I live by your for a problem. Hey, oh, Tabas is a rule, and I'm ready. Baka Tabas is a rule, and I'm ready. Why, I didn't know you for a problem. No, so my dad don't play. I'm no, hello. I say, what about that? What's up again? What about that? I'm my body. Yeah, man. I'm my body. I'm my last one with a bio. I'm going to make a very big papa. I can do what